All right, so let's take a look at this girl. I know she laid a clutch. I don't know how many eggs are in there, but she is sitting pretty high. So I'm hoping there's quite a few eggs. Hey guys, I'm Kai from Lucas Landon Royals. Hope you're doing well. And today we got another clutch of eggs. Now, who wants to see another pied female wrapped around a clutch of pearly whites? This is gonna be clutch numero 5. This clutch of eggs is from the pied female that I said was exceptionally bright for a pied. Now, when I purchased her just as a pied, but because she's so bright, well, let me just say, in my opinion, not even a theory or experience, just an opinion, that hypo in its het form will make the animal a little bit brighter. So I'm hoping, because she's a little bit brighter, maybe, just maybe, small little chance that she might be carrying the hypo gene. And of course, I paired her to a coral glow pied male that's also possible het for hypo. And I'm really hoping that he proves out. I mean, he doesn't have that many black spots like some of the other coral glows that I've seen. So I'm hoping he's also a little bit brighter. Because he's also a little bit brighter, that maybe he actually does carry that hypo gene. I'm just shooting for the stars here, so we'll see how it goes. Quick pause for today's question of the day, and it was submitted by Constrictor Construction, who relatively recently started a new YouTube channel. So I'll leave his information down in the description below. His question came in as a comment on one of my old DIY videos, and it says, I'm watching this video in 2020 and see it's been a couple years. How are the racks holding up? This video was very helpful. Thanks. I figured the best way to answer your question is to take a look at one of the first racks that I've ever built. And this one right here was built way back. And I'm telling you, when I build these racks, I make sure they stand up to the test of time. I mean, literally, I build them to last. Oops. I'm just playing. Those racks have actually held up pretty well. In fact, let me show you. So this one down here is the very first one that I built, and it is for grow outs. And soon after that, I built another one very similar to it. There's a minor difference, and I did point out what the differences are in another video. I'll put a link to that video down in the description below if you want to see what the differences are. But pretty much they were built with probably months apart. So this is the second one that I built, and while I have a couple of these tubs out in the wash, we can take a look at what's going on inside and see any wear and tear. So right off the bat, you can see some of the marks. This was a completely white PVC, and you can see some marks here, and these are drag marks from the tub going in and out. And that's because this foil tape, every time the tub rubs on the foil tape, it takes a little bit of the foil off and transfers it onto the white PVC. It's not a big deal. You know, it does have a little bit of coloring, but it doesn't bother me that much, and it doesn't bother the snake at all. You're probably wondering if the rubbing has any issues with the heat tape on the back. And to be honest, because the foil tape is taped on top of the heat tape, the foil tape actually takes the brunt of the abuse, if you want to call it abuse. The foil tape is cheap enough that you can just peel the old one off and replace it with a new layer. So it's not a big deal. I do know that some people actually router a groove and have the heat tape sitting in the groove so that it's lower than the surface here. But I don't really think that's necessary, and the time it takes to do that, I just didn't see it to be that beneficial. So that's the way I designed it, and you can see there's not much wear and tear besides a little bit of discoloration. Thanks to Constrictor Construction for submitting that question, and I gotta say the comments on my videos are getting much better. And I don't know if maybe it has something to do with COVID-19, where now that we're home, we're watching more videos and we have more time to, you know, type up these comments and put a little bit more thought to make them a little bit more lengthier. So again, thank you guys for all the comments. Keep them coming, and I'm gonna start adding them to my videos. And speaking of COVID-19, about 2 weeks ago, I gave myself a haircut. And I didn't call it out in my other videos because I think I went a smidge too short, so I didn't want to call attention to it. But it's been 2 weeks and it's grown out, so I think it actually looks a little bit better now. I don't know. Well, I did my best. Anyway, let's get back to talking about snakes. Now, before I go and pull this clutch of pied eggs, I got a couple other beautiful females to show you. They're not pieds, but they're still beautiful in their own rights. So come on over here and let's go check them out. Check out this beautiful girl. She is the closest in line to laying a clutch of eggs. And she's actually due in 2 weeks. So that's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what she gives me. I am trying to prove her out. She is a fire spinner blast het for hypo. So if you don't know what a spinner blast is, that's a pinstripe, spider, and pastel. So on top of that, she's got fire, and she is, I have her labeled as het for hypo, but we'll have to see if she is a visual hypo or not. There just isn't enough dark pigments on her to really make that determination. So we'll have to just try to prove her out by breeding her and seeing how many visual hypo offsprings she gives us, and then taking a guess from that point on. So, and of course I have to show off this beautiful girl, Firefly Clown. And you know, I did a video with her and another female comparing their belly sizes, and we're going to try to see if which one's going to give us eggs and which one's going to give us slugs. My bet is that this one's going to give us eggs because she's got the bigger belly. If you want the answer to that question, make sure you're subscribed and wait for that new video to post once both of the girls in that video lays a clutch of eggs or slugs. But anyway, this girl is about 3 weeks out from laying a clutch. She had her pre-lay shed or post-ovulation shed just a week ago. So she seems to be a bit uncomfortable, and that's to be expected because she is pretty full right now. So we're gonna let her be, and hopefully everything goes well with her and I get to be right. So I cannot wait for those females to go. But one last thing I want to tell you, the very first clutch of this season, clutch number 1, is due to pip in just a little bit over a week, so you don't want to miss it. So without delaying this anymore, let's take a look at how many eggs this pied female has produced. Let me go ahead and fix the camera for you guys, and you can see she is eyeing me up. Don't strike at me, baby. All right, hope that helps. Surely puts me in the bad position though. So this is the towel. Like I said, I'm going to use this to cover her up. This kind of just gets her out of the maternal instinct stage. See how she's hiding her head now? So that's good. Still want to be careful though. This towel's too thick. Let me move the water bowl out of the way. I should have done that first. All right, so it's better to thin it down a little bit. She's grabbing onto the eggs really tight, so it's good to get the tail, the end of the tail, and just unhook it, and you can see she's really concave. So I'm going to go ahead and put her in that tub of water that I had set up. So now that she is taking a bath, this is the towel that I used. So I'm going to throw that on the floor, make sure I don't mix that with anything else. And I'm going to move the egg box over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. We got quite a nice clutch here, no slugs, which is always good. And we have 6 eggs, so that's great. Let me move these things out of the way. Like I said, this is the egg box that I made up, and you can see because I have water in there and because I've already put this into the incubator, we have condensation already on the lid and all along the sides of the container, which means that there's plenty of humidity. The perlite is wet from water that I've added, and this is a light diffuser on top. So that way the eggs are never sitting directly on that wet perlite. So what I'm going to do now is peel these eggs apart. Because this egg tub is fairly low in profile, I don't want the eggs sitting too high and touching the lid, because the lid has condensation. So if it's touching the lid or it's touching the side, the condensation will wick, the egg will wick that water in, and then it'll completely drown the embryo or fetus inside. This one looks a little bit discolored, but once I get these all separated, we'll candle them and check to see if they're all healthy and fertile. So now that they're all taken apart, and remember that's the discolored one, I'm going to shut off the lights, shine a flashlight to each of them in a process called candling to see what's inside. So far one of them was upside down, but the other ones are all in right side up. Now for the discolored one, and kind of just as I suspected, this one has absolutely no veins. So far I got 3 of these. They look pretty much like normal eggs, but there's no veins or very weak veins. And this one happens to have no veins at all. There's not even one little blood spot in there. So this one is not going to go in the incubator. There's no reason to put this in. It's pretty much like a slug that has an actual shell. So this one is going to go into the garbage. So now what I like to do is just put these into kind of a zipper pattern. The zipper pattern minimizes the number of straws that are needed to keep the eggs into place. So 6 eggs, very, very nice. And here's what I do with the straws. I just use them to pin down the eggs so that they don't roll around. So clutch number 5 has gone into the incubator, and clutch number 1 is due to pip in about a little bit over a week. So they're going to be coming out of the incubator, and hopefully we can catch that for the next video. And I'll be able to bring to you my first egg cutting video of season 2020. So that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and I'll see you guys next time.